enjoy. I'll come back and get you. Obviously, guys, the format is that there's some mics on the side for your questions, and fire when ready, and I'll come back in too soon a time. All right, have a great time. Take care.
They just closed the doors.
We were trying to figure out why there was like a separation of groups, and then we realized this was like a gold special or something. We're just trying to work out the logistics of it.
I guess we should start with some questions.
I have one for Colin and then one for Jen. So Colin, Once Upon a Time was your first American show. What was it like going from UK television to the US television?
Yeah, it's quite different. I mean, it's the first show that got picked up. I did a pilot for ABC, but it's a very different. The hours are different. I guess all the union stuff is different, and I think depending on the director that you have, the approach is very different than it is in the UK. I think we tend to rehearse. Well, I'm in Ireland, not UK, but I think we tend to rehearse a little bit more than we do. But it's also doing a show like this where you're doing 22 episodes a season, and now whatever says it, 7 seasons. It's you get used to the character, so you know your character. You know, probably I would like to think better than most of the directors who come in. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
I don't know, I wasn't listening.
Story of my life.
And then Jen, for you, what was it like going from straight from a comedy into a drama, considering you were still filming the comedy at the same time as the drama?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I think Emma would have had red hair had I not been shooting. I'm not joking. They actually tried red wigs on me. So that would have affected things. But yeah, no, that was a really crazy stretch of time. Obviously, it was something like I think it was 21 days straight that I didn't have a single day off because I was fitting my days on the pilot for once in between my days on How I Met Your Mother for the last episode of that. And so it was kind of crazy to go from this really kind of big, outrageous character on How I Met Your Mother to this really damaged, sort of walls up kind of character for Once Upon a Time. I know, you're not listening either, it's fine. But it was a fun challenge. I mean, it's one of those things where that's what we love as actors, is to feel like we get to mix it up and do different things. So as much as I was tired, you know, from the work schedule, it was definitely worth it, and it was invigorating to have the challenge to jump between both.
So now I figured out what happened when we're doing scenes together is that you just wait for my mouth to stop moving.
No.
Alright.
That's when I listen to you.
Alright, I get it. Moving on. Thank you for your question.
I just got really distracted. I was looking at all these big photos around the room, and I thought, oh, this must mean that all these people are going to be here. That's what I was thinking.
Jen, this isn't your first convention. You should know that.
I'm just being honest. It's early. I don't know. Sorry. This person.
Hi. So you guys kind of have a Comic-Con tradition, but you couldn't do it this year because you weren't there. You know, the head on the shoulder thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So we'd like to see it one more time.
Usually it's my left shoulder, so that was the first time we did that on the right shoulder. Thanks, Tom.
Things I do.
Hi.
Hey.
So I have a question for each of you. Colin, you had mentioned recently about directing. If you couldn't act, would you ever want to direct?
Me?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you want to direct? What kind of film would you like to do?
What kind of film?
Yeah.
action film, apparently. Something James Bond would be good.
Just answer questions here.
And Jen, I got to see you in The End of Longing, and it was absolutely amazing, and I loved it.
Thanks for coming to see the play.
And I was wondering what it was like going from the schedule of filming a TV show to going to the schedule of doing theater.
Yeah, I mean, they're both demanding in different ways. You know, it's interesting because theater can be a little bit deceptive. It can sound like, oh, you're only rehearsing 8 hours a day, and you're only performing 2 or 4 hours a day, or something. You know,
Lazy.
so it can sound sort of deceptive that way. But there's the creative sort of collaborative process as you're rehearsing a play is mentally growing in a way that I kind of always forget until I'm in that rehearsal space. All of us would come, you know, we'd get out of rehearsal at 6 p.m. or whatever, and I would be in bed by 7. Like it was like you would just be so wrecked from the heightened concentration for that period of time. Whereas, you know, obviously television is longer hours, but it's sort of spread out. Your focus is spread out over a longer period of time. And then once you're in performances, I really enjoy that stretch of time. I feel like, you know, you definitely sort of stay in that headspace in a certain way. But I like having my mornings, and I like walking to the theater, and I like having all my rituals with all that. It sort of just makes for like a later day, because usually people come to see the show, and you'll have dinner after. So it's, you know, it was nice. It was nice to have the rehearsal time, and it's nice to be able to be in that creative process. And then it was also nice to be home in New York and be acting at home.
Thank you.
Hi, so you guys recently just filmed 702, and I was wondering if you describe it in like 3 words.
Not a chance.
You're so cheeky.
Listen, I've been awake since 3 a.m. I only had 2 hours sleep, so I'm allowed to be cheeky. We can't tell you because then it will ruin it, I think.
I agree.
For the first time, I'm telling Jen what to do. So there you go. This is a first.
Hi, this is a question for Jen. What do you like best working on house?
Oh, there were so many wonderful things about working on house. It was a job that really changed my life in so many ways, but also I really loved playing Cameron. I really do look at it like an old friend that I miss. You know, it's like when you've spent 6 years being someone, you sort of feel the loss of them in your life in some way. I really enjoyed working with Hugh Laurie so much, and I felt very lucky that I got to have so much sort of one-on-one time with him on that show. I felt like I grew as an actor working across from him. I felt like... he's wildly talented, and he's someone that when you're around them... It's like working with Colin. You can't help but just be better.
It's very true.
I was trying to answer your question seriously, but you know, I think you get the point. It was great. It was an amazing experience. I'm very grateful for my time there.
Thank you. That's it. Sorry.
I didn't mean to ruin your answer.
You enhanced it.
Good morning. For the musical episode, you recorded earlier than you filmed it. Was it difficult to record it, especially for Jen, you're a very emotional song? Was it difficult to recapture it when you went back and filmed it? And how much did you know about the scene itself when you recorded it?
I don't remember when we got the script versus the songs.
I think we got the songs before we got the script. Didn't we?
Yeah.
I can't really remember. It was a bit of a...
It's a bit of a blur. We were multitasking in a way that was like crazy because we were shooting an episode while we were learning the songs, while we were vocal coaching, while we were learning the dance numbers, while we were, it was all at once. I feel like everyone involved did a great job of giving us enough information to know where we were going to be at emotionally. And I did definitely take that into consideration. I felt very lucky that I had grown up doing musical theater, because that definitely gave me a point of reference in my mind of having to think through the details of what I wanted the vocal inflection to be in terms of where she was going to be at emotionally in that moment. You know, and Eddie and Adam had told me that Emma's song was going to be this pivotal moment of her really transforming completely from the Ugly Duckling to the Swan for her final bit of transformation, and so I knew that that would be really emotional. So yeah, there was some faith involved in it, and then there was also sort of options that we gave them in our performance. At least I'm saying we. I'm not meaning to speak for you, but
yeah, we had a musical director too who was there while we were recording it, who sort of had an idea too as to what they wanted.
you know, at least in my recordings, we had a range of options of how emotional versus a little bit less emotional, stronger, softer, you know, more vulnerable. So they had different takes with different options, and then once we had the script, and once they had the script, and once we all knew all of it, then they were able to build it from there.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous meeting you guys. So on behalf of Twitter, can you sing a few of the lines from your wedding song? Your character's wedding song.
It was a while ago, we don't really remember. Yeah. You know, we might do it another time.
Okay.
Sorry.
I had to sort of arrange that.
I'm very controlling. Jen, I was very excited to hear about you being on Broadway, and then I was very sad to know that your show closed so quickly. So I was wondering if you have any plans to go back to Broadway, specifically June of 2018.
I'll plan around it. That's so sweet. Yeah, we were. You know, it was interesting because it was a set run from the beginning that we knew was in a way nice because it was a very manageable amount of time. It was great. Yes, absolutely. I mean, you don't know when certain things are going to come up or when things are going to come together. It's one of those funny things with theater because it just isn't. You're never sure like when there's going to be a production that you're right for and when they're going to get all the financing for that production and when it's going to actually happen and what theaters are available. There's like all these moving pieces with theater that impact all that. But yes, I mean, my plan is to definitely continue pursuing theater. I've been meeting with playwrights and I'm part of sort of developing new material and stuff. So I'm not sure if it'll be June. I'll try though. I'll really try.
Good morning. We've just had a really crazy road trip from Vancouver on Monday to get here. We've been listening to some really random tunes, and I was wondering, what's your favourite travelling tunes, and specifically, what's your favourite power ballad?
Colin is much better at this than I am.
Well, it's going to have to be more than a feeling. It's more than a feeling. I would say thank you. Favorite road songs? I really like the Rolling Stones. Are great to listen to driving. You know what I mean? It's just a great band to listen to, I think. Anyway, but it's really good driving music. Yeah.
Well, I haven't been on a road trip in a long time. It's on my bucket list of things to do now that I'm a person again. But I am on planes a lot, and I am a bit of a nervous flyer. So I have found that certain rituals keep me a little bit calmer when I'm flying. And I, for years now, I think since the album came out, listened to Beck's Morning Phase. when I travel. So I usually listen to that album quite a bit when I'm on planes.
So, if you could give any advice to your past selves as actresses and actors, what would you say?
Don't freak out when you're 24 and not working. You'll be all right. Genuinely. That's what I say.
Yeah, I mean, there is truth to that. I always say, like, I wish I could go back to the moments that I was worried and be like, it's okay, it's gonna be all right. Gosh, I guess I would say, yeah, I don't know. I guess to take whatever risks that I wanted to take and not necessarily feel like every decision was as critical as it might have seemed.
Hi.
I love your jacket with those little sparkles, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. Right?
Okay, so this is not my question, but firstly, how's your foot doing, Colin?
I think it's okay. I just had another X-ray the other day, so I'll know Monday, I think.
Okay, so I'm not expecting you guys to remember any of this, but I was originally wondering if you guys remembered any of your dance scenes together, and maybe if you could recreate one.
Do you remember? I don't. Do you remember any? I mean, you're asking us to do a lot of stuff.
Here's the thing. I totally get it. It's so sweet. We'll have to think through this for future things. But you have to remember, like, you guys pull it up and watch it like today or yesterday, and it feels really, really recent to a viewer. But for us, that was a long time ago, and so many things have happened since then, and we've learned so many things and memorized so many things, and you know, there's just a sheer like volume of things that have happened since then. So we'd have to work it out. Sorry.
Thank you, guys.
I just don't want to dip Jen on stage and drop her.
Hello, as an aspiring film director, what makes a film great for you, and what qualities would make a film better?
Well, I'm certainly no, I don't know, expert on anything in this arena, but I really enjoy. I don't know, I have so many thoughts that go through my head all at once. I have to grab one. You know, it's like it goes. I really enjoy very intentional filmmaking. Like, I really enjoy the Coen brothers, I really enjoy Wes Anderson, I really enjoy certain Tim Burton things, like things that have really sort of strong visual voices in a certain way. So that's stuff that I naturally gravitate to. I think, you know, I've sort of tried to figure out like why that is that I gravitate to that, and I think that it sometimes when things are a little bit stylized, it gives you space to choose how you're going to participate in it as a viewer. Whereas sometimes when something's really gritty and real, it feels a little bit like, whoa, okay, all right, I got it. You know, like it feels a little pushy. And I think there's a place for both kinds of filmmaking, and I do enjoy both kinds, but I think that's why I kind of gravitate to the stylized stuff, because it kind of gives me permission to choose how I'm going to go on that journey. So what I've directed so far does kind of lean that direction. Sundogs is a little bit stylized, and Morning Label is a little bit stylized. I'm in prep on something that I'm not allowed to talk about yet because my contract isn't closed yet, but that is also going to be stylized. So, you know, my initial work is also leaning that way, but then, you know, I think it really just depends on what the emotional drive of a story is. There's a project that I'm about to pitch that my pitch for that would be that it would be hyper real and like very visceral and edgy and gritty and not stylized in the way that I have been doing so far. So I think that what I respond to is the visual matching the emotion, or at least contributing to the emotion of the storytelling in some way, and having it be consistent and meaningful in that way. That's just my personal take on it.
Me? I think it's all subjective, really. It all depends. You know what I mean? It depends on I think if you direct something, then as long as you believe in the way that you're going to direct it and want to do it a specific way and are very sure of what you want, then that's valid. I don't think you can say what would make a film better. You know, some people will like Pulp Fiction, some people won't. You know, that's just the way it is. So I guess it's just have a good script, start with a good script, and then work that way.
Why is Regina so bad?
What's the dream so bad?
Why is Regina so bad?
She's come around. Early on, she had a lot of pain in her life that made her make some bad decisions. But I think that she has a lot of really good friends now, and a lot of people who care about her, and they helped her get to a better place in her life.
The main question is, why are you so cute?
And why is her dress purple?
I didn't hear that. What did she say? Why is her dress purple?
Royalty.
I guess royal. There you go, royalty.
Taking you all everywhere with us. Answer our questions was.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I was wondering, what initially sparked your interest for acting? Was there like a moment in your childhood where you were like, this is what I want to do with my life?
I had friends doing youth theatre in my hometown, and I went to meet them for a coffee, and they needed somebody to fill in while they were rehearsing a play, because the guy who was supposed to play the part didn't show up, and I was like, no wait, not a chance. And they were like, look, you can go get a coffee after. I was like, okay, we'll buy you one. I was like, okay, I'll do it then. And then we ended up going to do the play. We did a play in the Olivier Theatre in London, which is the National, and when I was 16, and everybody stood up at the end and cheered, and I went, oh yeah, I like this. And it was also, I was a very sort of introverted kid, so it gave me an opportunity to pretend to be somebody that I wasn't, which was, for me at the time, a good thing.
Honestly, it wasn't about being bought a coffee, but I had sort of a similar experience. Nothing's really changed with the coffee, has it?
No.
We used to, my dad was the music teacher and band director at the high school that I went to, and he directed the pit orchestras for the musicals. And so when I was from a very young age, my mom would like dress up my sister and me, and we'd go, and it was like a very big deal to go see the High School Musical. I think it was more important to me to be the lead in the High School Musical than it was to make it in the business. It was like my ultimate dream, and like by the time I did that, I was like, what am I going to do now? I've done this. So I think that was a part of it. But similar to what Colin was saying, I was definitely an eccentric kid, and I was curious about all these things, but kind of unsure of how to try certain things in life. And I think that acting was a chance for me to escape myself a little bit and try on all these different ideas and these different people in a way that felt productive instead of confusing or damaging in some way.
Thank you.
Hi. If each of you could be any other character in the show, which characters would you be?
I was going to ask that. I'm going to have to change my answer now because I'm going to say.
What do you usually say?
I normally say I'd be the evil queen. I just think I have the cleavage for it, so.
Is that why your shirts are always unbuttoned?
That's why my shirts are always unbuttoned. So now I'm going to say.
It all makes sense.
Now I'm going to say I'd be the Wicked Witch for the exact same reason.
I think I want to be Captain Hook. I think I have the cleavage for it.
Thanks.
Hi, this question is for Colin. As the recent TCAs, there was that 60 seconds video that you filmed, and one of the questions was your favorite genre, and you answered comedy. So does this mean you would like comedy, and if so, do you prefer rom-com, black comedy, Shakespearean comedy? What sort of comedy do you like and would you want to share?
I mean, it was a 60-second thing, and all the others said drama, so I figured I'd go against the grain. I do like comedy, so I'm not saying I don't. I do. I like dark comedy, probably. Something kind of a little bit, I don't know, dark or whatever, but yeah, that was one of those ones where I thought it'd be funny to say that. I didn't think it'd come back and bite me in the back. I guess it has. So.
Hi.
Hello.
I was very quick question, but could you say I love?
I love. That's genuinely the question. There you go.
Can't wait to see how that comes back to haunt you.
This question is for Jennifer. If you, for a week, you had to give up Starbucks or reading, which one would you give up?
Starbucks or what?
Reading.
I thought you said eating.
If it was Starbucks or eating, it would be eating. Starbucks or reading. It's interesting because I did The Artist's Way. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of The Artist's Way. Highly recommend it. I really do feel like it changed my life. And one of the things they ask you to do is for a week not read. And it was really, it was tough. It was really tough. I did it. I committed to it. But it was uncomfortable. I'm so used to like all my sort of time in between being consumed with whether it's a New Yorker or the New York Times or the book that I'm reading or the script that I'm reading or even just needing to read a script and break it down. And so during that week I actually needed to read a new script for Once Upon a Time, and a friend of mine volunteered to read it to me. And it was such a profoundly different experience to have the script read to me. It's some really funny, interesting voices for everyone. So I guess I would say reading because I know I'm capable of it. But it was tricky and it was uncomfortable. But I felt like it did give me a different perspective on things to sort of commit to that for a week.
So watching you guys play, it kind of made me realize that I'd want to be an actor when I grow up. And I was just wondering, because you guys are my role models, who were your role models when you were growing up?
It's very sweet. I'm glad that you guys feel like inspired by what we're doing. And good luck with everything. I mean, it's a crazy journey. I think my earliest people that I was looking up to were literally the high school actors that I was watching when I was a kid. I grew up in a home where like we didn't watch a lot of stuff that wasn't kid friendly, you know. So when I was younger, it was like a lot of Disney movies and stuff along that, you know, vein of things. So a lot of the theater I was seeing was at the high school because, like I said, that's where my dad worked. So a lot of the people I was like looking up to were local. It was Lee Annenberg. He was my hero. But we're like, you know, local people, and I think that in a way that was really helpful because it made it feel very possible to me, and it felt like something that was like very relatable and immediate.
For me, I think it was my grandmother. She went off to train in the Guildhall in London when I guess women didn't really leave Ireland on their own in their early 20s or whatever to go pursue a third level education. And my dad, I always wanted to play the guitar like my dad. So, yeah.
All right, guys, why don't we take one last one? Is there one last one there? All right, one quickie, and then we'll wrap this one up.
Oh, hi. I was wondering if both of you could take home only one of the Once Upon a Time props, which one would it be?
Oh, I know the answer to that because I did it. Can't get in trouble now, can I?
out, so.
I might get in trouble.
What would you have taken if you would have taken something?
If I would have taken something, I would have taken the MS1 Darkwood dagger.
I mean, there is only one prop really on Once Upon a Time, and that is the hook. So I would have to take that.
You haven't spent enough time with it yet?
All right, well, now that we've, our friendly kleptomaniacs have admitted, I'm sure it's being streamed, that ABC is going to be like, I'm coming after you. Thanks, guys. Can we have a big round of applause for